All right, I'll start. So hello, welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today to an introduction of healthy lifestyle programmes supporting children and families in Oxfordshire. So with us today, we've got Deris, Hannah, myself, Ben and Gertie. So I'm just going to go around the room and let everyone introduce themselves. So Deris, shall we start off with you?
Hi everyone, I'm Deris. I'm a consultant in public health at Oxfordshire County Council. So I work for the public health team in Oxfordshire and I lead what's called Live Well, and that includes the whole systems approach to obesity work. Nice to meet you all.
Deris. Hannah?
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Hannah Pearce, the Head of Service for Achieve Oxfordshire. We're the adult weight management provider and now the children's weight management provider for the county.
Thank you, Hannah. Ben, would you like to go?
Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm a families activator supporting the new programme that we'll be explaining later, YouMove, which at its simplest term is just trying to get families that are most in need more active.
Thank you, Ben. And Gertie?
I'm the other families activator for Oxford City, so I cover areas Barton, Headington and East Oxford.
Perfect, thank you. And I'm Jodie with Achieve Oxfordshire and I'm a marketing and referral generation officer. So the structure of today's webinar, we're going to have a talk from Deris about the bigger picture and why there has been funding into these healthy lifestyle programmes for children and families. I'm then going to introduce Glogy Energy and give a short presentation about that to give some more information. Then going to move over to Ben and Gertie to give a presentation of YouMove and what that programme involves. And then we're going to have a question and answer session at the end, led by Hannah, if there's any questions. But feel free to put any questions in the question box throughout and we can answer them at the end. So I will move over to you, Deris.
Hi everyone. So I've been asked to just give a 2 to 3 minute presentation, so I'm going to stick to the time. So I'm going to try and talk to you really about how these particular services fit into the bigger picture, and you'll all know, or many of you will know, that there are other health related programs for children and young people, but this is just particularly about these two programs today. So you'll also know that there are lots of health issues, both physical and mental, associated with being very overweight or obese. And particularly for children, there are issues around bullying and self-esteem that you might come across. And the bigger picture for us in terms of our rates is that whilst we have lower rates of obesity and overweight than England as a whole, or even our region as a whole, we still have about 60% of adults in Oxfordshire who are overweight or obese. And we have, from our school measurement programme, seen an uptick during COVID, but we currently have around 20% of our reception children and 33% of our year 6 children who fit into that category. And so you can see there's that kind of rising line from young children through to adults. It does drop off at older age adults, but that's too much detail to probably go into now. So, and you also may be aware that children who are overweight or obese tend to become overweight adults as well, and that has an ongoing effect. So we've got an approach in Oxfordshire called the Whole Systems Approach to Obesity, which you may have heard of, and I know some of you have been involved in, and I can see some of your names here, so you'll know about it. And that's looking at a collective focus on things we can do around a number of areas. So we look at prevention, environment, the way that everyone works together, and the support services that are provided throughout the county. We want to do a lot more around prevention and the environment, so we've started to do that at the moment. But the first thing we've done is reviewed our support services. So at the moment we know that we've got people that need some support because professionals and individuals have told us that. We had great services in place, or we have great services in place, Hannah, sorry, for adults, but we had a gap identified for children and families. So basically there wasn't a lot in place that was very specific and very obvious for children and families. Obviously we've got school nursing services and we've got health visiting services, and they do some work, but there was a call for something a little bit more detailed, which is the service that you're having talked about today. We also know that there's a real link between deprivation and weight, and we know that for children particularly, physical activity and eating healthily are really key. in terms of the difference that we can make. So for that reason, we also looked at the YouMove programme, which are also going to have a presentation around today, because that's all about getting children and their families more active. And obviously physical activity is really, really important, not just for healthy weight, but for lots of other issues as well. So I think that's probably my time up, and I'm not going to say a lot more. If you have got any questions for me, maybe put them in the chat or save them to the end, or I'm sure someone will let me know. I'm going to stay on the call as long as I can, but I might be called away. So enjoy the rest of the presentations. Thank you.
Thank you, Doris. Yeah, that gives us a really great insight as to why these programmes have been funded. And now I will move on to Glow-G Energy and give some more information on that. So I'm going to start off by showing our promo video that we have, which is mainly aimed at parents, but hopefully it will give you a nice summary of what Glow-G Energy is. So hopefully that gave you a nice short summary of what Glow-G Energy is, and this video we'll be sharing on our social media, on our website, just to be available for our clients and for them to have that access to see. Oops. So I'm going to go into more detail as to what Glow-G Energy is now and give you some more information. So Glow-G Energy is a brand new programme. It launched in July this year, and it's a free 12-week healthy lifestyle programme for families and their children. We offer group sessions and one-to-one sessions, and that is dependent on the needs of each family. Sessions are 1 hour long once a week, and 45 minutes of those sessions involve physical activity for the children, whilst the parents and carers go off and they learn tips and tricks around nutrition, healthy habits, and much more with our practitioners. The last 15 minutes is an interactive activity where the whole family come together and do something. These sessions are designed to help get the whole family moving and make healthier life choices together. So what can families expect at Glow-G Energy? It's a 12-week programme combining one-to-one appointments and group sessions that run each week. And the group sessions last 60 minutes at a community venue. Children engage in fun and energetic physical activity, which can include things such as football, martial arts, swimming, trampolining, and more. And that depends on which location they choose for their Glow-G Energy programme. And that's 45 minutes worth of the session. Whilst the children are engaging in that physical activity, the parents come together with the practitioners and they learn about children's health as a whole, and they look at our 4 main pillars, which are nutrition, movement, mind and sleep. And then for the remaining 15 minutes of the session, they all come together as a family and share their learning and agree missions and complete in relation to the healthy lifestyle topic they have covered that week. We also offer separate groups depending on the age of the children. So we've got a younger band for ages 4 to 7 years old and older for 8 to 12 years old. And just to highlight that Glow-G Energy is a completely free programme for families. So where is Glow-G Energy being held? So as you can see on the screen, we've got various locations around Oxfordshire, and so far we have Oxford, Banbury, Witney, Abingdon, Bicester, Beresfield and Didcot, with potentially some more locations depending on the needs of where it is needed. And you can find more information on specifics on location, dates and times on our website, which we update regularly. So what topics are covered in Glow G Energy? We like to think we cover a wide range of topics to help families achieve healthier lifestyle habits, and each week they will focus on one of these topics. So they have finding the balance, food and feeling good, making and breaking habits, moving more, sleep, meal planning, shopping and understanding food labels, eating out and cooking at home, and setting up for the future. And again, for that 15 minutes at the end, that's where the families share what they've learned with their children and hopefully implement the things they've learned back at home. So who is Glow G Energy for? So it's for children aged 4 to 12 years old, which includes 4 and 12 years old children. It's for children that are measured on the 91st centile and above, so it is targeting those overweight and very overweight children. And it's for children that live, attend a school or are registered with a GP in Oxfordshire. And it's for families that are motivated and ready to make those changes to their health and lifestyle. We've also got our exclusion criteria, which is children living with diabetes, children with an unmanaged condition, and families that are not motivated to make that change to their health and lifestyle. So what are our aims for Glow G Energy? We are aiming to stabilise and reduce childhood obesity, especially in those areas of greater need. We're looking to increase childhood and family physical activity. We want to improve children's and families' diets, and particularly an increase in the fruit and vegetable consumption. We want to improve their overall well-being for families and to improve their relationships with food, and to establish a support network for families with greater needs and be able to provide them with relevant signposting to other local support available if they should need it. So how do you make a referral, or how does a family make a referral? So families can go onto our website and there's sign up buttons, and they can do that themselves, or they can speak to a GP or their healthcare professional who can do it on their behalf. But a GP or health professional would have to get consent from the family to do so. Also, for GPs and healthcare professionals, we've got an EMIS form, which is still under development and hopefully should be finalised soon. And all of that you can do via our website by clicking on that link, and these slides will get sent round after the webinar's finished. So following that, our triage team will be in contact with the family within 2 working days, and then the child will be allocated onto a programme of the family's choice, so depending on the area they would like, and a practitioner will arrange a discovery call to learn about the family, what they're looking for, their aims, and to prepare them for the coming weeks. So I just want to finish off with a few testimonials we've had so far. So as I said, our programme launched in July and we've got some really great feedback so far, so I thought I'd share that with you. So one parent said, "We feel really lucky to have this group available. Her son really enjoyed it more than she expected. He's been enthusiastic, did so much exercise. They're looking forward to coming each week and they thank the team for this opportunity." Another parent said, "My son couldn't wait to come and ask me all day when they'd be leaving for the session," which is great. We've had another parent say, "I found the sessions informative. They cover a wide variety of things. They enjoyed the slideshow, the brainstorming, images and diagrams, and our son comes home buzzing." We have another that says, "Really friendly and informative, very relaxed and non-judgmental." And finally, one parent has said, "Sessions are fantastic. My son has taken a keen interest on the range of food he consumes. During our evening meal, we discuss all the knowledge learnt in the sessions, educating the other members of the family." And thank you to the team. So far we've had amazing feedback. We hope to continue that. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. So I'm going to hand over to Ben and Gertie.
unmute myself. Thank you, Jodie.
No worries.
Yeah, UMove comes at a critically important time with many of the Oxfordshire families hitting hard by the cost of living crisis and serious concerns around mental health and well-being of Oxfordshire's children and young people. So being able to get active in ways that work for them will help families to enjoy quality time together, have fun and improve their health and well-being too. UMove itself is funded by Oxfordshire County Council Public Health and coordinated by Active Oxfordshire in partnership with district councils. Local charities and community organisations like Achieve will also play a key role in referring into UMove and providing many of the community-based activities on offer. UMove builds on the fantastic work done by Chilwell District Council's FIRES programme and is set to make a significant difference, we hope, to the health and well-being of Oxfordshire's children that are greatest in need. So what is UMove? UMove started in June, so it's brand new across the whole of Oxfordshire, and it's really simple. It's there to provide free and low-cost activities for family across the county, and it has a clear focus on those families who are facing greatest barriers to physical activity and who stand to gain most from being active. So the principles. When Active Oxfordshire came forward with this idea of UMove, they came up with these key principles so we can check back on progress and see how far that progress aligns from these principles. Number one is to seek the shortest and quickest, most supported user journey from contemplation to action. If someone wants to be active, we're trying to make it quick and easy for them to join, and so they don't have to jump through a lot of hoops and go through a lot of red tape. Number two refers to trusting these partners and trusting professionals. So obviously we're working with a lot of different charities and community organisations who can refer themselves into UMove. So it's our role to trust those judgments who are referring so we can get them through the door quickly and we can help them as quick as possible. Yeah, so obviously number three is focusing on existing relationships. So I guess that's why we're here today, working with organisations to improve physical activities to those who are most in need. And then obviously four, overarching everything is to be family centres, which is why why myself and Gerta are in post, to be a friendly face and to help all those people that are signed up to the process. So the specifics of what me and Gertie actually do. So we're both based actually in Oxford City. Gertie is covering Barton, Headington and East Oxford. Myself, I'm in Rosehill and Blackbird Leys. And what obviously I sort of just covered this, but the specifics of what UMove actually includes. So you get reduced costs, so leisure-based offer. So all the Fusion leisure centres within Oxford City. If you're on UMove, you'll get fast-tracked onto their bonus card, which I will go on to a bit more on the next slide, I believe. We're obviously working with public health. They've given us community-based offers, so we got investment from them. So we've got community groups running that we hope families can join, and we can help get a positive pattern across the next 2 years. And obviously we've got a targeted approach with those families that are most in need and vulnerable and financially unstable at the moment. And obviously free and low cost activities is the goal for us to get those families into. So how do you get involved? First of all, families can register themselves. They can fill out a short form or call me, myself or Gertie. Alternatively, a partner organisation can refer a family on their behalf. So if Achieve have a family they think could benefit, they send them this way. Just seen a question. UMove is across the whole of Oxfordshire. It's across the whole of Oxfordshire. Yeah, the link's there, which we will send out after the webinar. You just literally click on that link and there's a short form. Once you sign up, it'll come through to myself and Gertie. We'll process your application and the families will receive a UMove welcome letter and their UMove little white membership cards. And then it's in my job and Gertie's job to be on hand to provide support and advice on what's coming up, the leisure centre benefits and the community groups that are coming up, and just to signpost in different directions. So if there's a particular organisation or charity event that's coming up, we can direct them in the right way. And ultimately, overarching everything is that families that don't normally they can enjoy getting active together. So what if you sign up for UMove, what do you actually get? So I mentioned this just a little bit about the Fusion Leisure Centres. So when you sign up for UMove, you get fast-tracked onto Youth Fusion's existing bonus card. And what you get with that is discounted membership, different classes, so swimming and badminton, and that's across the whole of the city. And you also get Fusion, so the Hinksey Outdoor Pool, and you also get the Oxford Ice Rink as well. Alongside this, as I mentioned, we're running community groups alongside this. So some of these include Project PT. So they're running free family activity for adults and children to have fun while lifting weights and boxing. Body Politic running family dance events. Story Museum is starting, and they're combining stories with physical activity, which has proven really popular. Yeah, flexing gentle literacy skills. And we're really trying to plug the park run. I don't know if any of you have heard it. Myself as a runner, I go most weeks, but it's a really good way to sort of gain a little community around Oxford, which we're really trying to sort of sell. Disability inclusive dance parties, as dance seems to be a popular area at the moment. Roller skating through Oxford Hub that we're working with. I know Don is here. We've sort of briefly spoken. Free family Zumba sessions at Barton Community Centre, and finally some more disco, Fam Jam disco sessions. So loads of different community events that are happening. So what else do you get alongside these benefits and discounted leisure? Me and Gertie send out weekly reminders and weekly updates. So there's frequent updates about local events, activities and promotions. If any of you here that are in the webinar today can send any more information about maybe anything, other things we don't know about. We're just trying to provide as much information to our families as possible. Like as we said, getting connected as a community. So me and Gertie are really trying to connect the Oxford City community so that they really, the disadvantaged community, they really have something to do and they have the chance that they wouldn't normally have to be fit and active. Yeah. So similar, we've got a few testimonials. I won't read through them all because you can read through. I'll read through the first few. UMove has enabled me and my family to attend activities that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford. I would recommend UMove to any families that could benefit from cheaper sporting opportunities. Before UMove, we have never really got involved in sport as a family, which I think is really important to try and really gauge a different demographic and try and get something different. Yeah, it'd be silly not to sign up. I think it's really good. Great way to access free and discounted activities for my kids. Yeah, I'll give you a minute or so to read the rest.
It's great. You've had some great feedback as well.
Yeah, it's proved really popular.
Okay, I'm going to move on. And obviously these slides will get sent out after. If you joined late, that's absolutely fine. You can watch the recording in your own time, and please share it with anyone you think is relevant.
Also, I think there's one more slide, which is just the different partners that we're working with across Oxfordshire. For some reason, I can't see everyone. I've popped out, but I'm sure you can still see me. Yeah, that's just the different partners we're working with.
Thank you, Ben. So I'm not sure if there's been any questions in our question box, but I'm going to hand over to Hannah if there has been, for anyone to ask any questions for either myself, for Ben or Gertie, on anything you've had today.
Yeah, so the age range, Gertie, back me up on this. I think it's 5 to 18. Is that right, Gertie?
Ages 5 to 17.
5 to 17. 5 to 17.
And the criteria is a family unit can apply. So a family unit would essentially mean anyone with children or anyone guarding children between those ages would be classed as a family. Yeah,
and I didn't really specify too much, but the eligibility for the UMove programme is predominantly free school meals, but we're being lenient, so anything sort of any government benefits or universal credit, we're also accepting onto our programme.
So anyone classed as generally vulnerable would be considered onto the programme.
Yeah. How many groups have started? That's a good question. So I'd say probably about 4 or 5 community groups. Would you say, Gertie?
Yes, so
And
at the moment we've got about 4 different groups running sessions, but we've partnered with about 8 different community groups. Alongside this, we've got lots of other connections to pre-established groups across the city who are running already free sessions. So anyone signed on to UMove, we'd keep updated and we'd support them access to these groups where otherwise they'd potentially struggle to travel there or struggle with initial anxieties or any other barriers that they identify in signing up.
yes.
Yes. So
if
anyone in the
who
family
are classed
unit
as vulnerable. Yeah. And the success is varied. I mean, it's tough because they're coming back from this, like back from school, back off the summer holidays. So the first few sessions we've had, it's been successful. There's been a few numbers, but it's definitely something we're trying to boost the numbers over the coming months. Hopefully, as more families join on, hopefully it'll create like a positive sort of pattern across the next few years. And yeah, of course, Donna, I can send you some more flyers.
Just there was a question there, Ben and Gertie, about if children have medical conditions such as diabetes, does this affect their eligibility?
No, so they'll be considered the same onto the course. There's specific, so if a child does have diabetes or mental health conditions or learning difficulties or whatever it might be, certain sessions might be more suitable to them, just based on ability. But there is an array of activities that we offer, so there will always be something suitable for each child with each independent health concern.
Yeah.
Ben, there's just one more in the Q&A box. So where do we find activators for other areas around Oxfordshire?
Awesome. So what I'll do is put the link, the UMove link, into the chat box, hopefully, and you can find the activators on the UMove. If you search UMove Oxford, UMove Oxfordshire, it should come up, and then you can find your activator for the different regions.
Yeah, and then that might link into what Darius has just said, Ben, just above, just checking this is county-wide and things might operate slightly differently depending on district, but eligibility criteria remains the same. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the criteria, eligibility criteria, remains the same for the whole of Oxfordshire. Yeah, and yeah, we are linking with schools. They've worked with Wanda, so they've sent out vouchers. So all the children that are on free school meals register. Their families automatically get a ping. Last time, so they've done it sort of probably 2 months ago. We had a real spike from numbers, but the one that happened last week or the week before, we haven't quite had the same effect. So we're sort of chasing them up at the moment, but we are definitely we're working with schools. And yeah, it is. So me and Gertie are also trying to contact other schools, but yeah, those schools are just the ones that are registered with Wanda, but we're also contacting other schools as well in the area.
Do you cover the question about sending PDFs to schools to promote, that you've covered that to the free school meals children?
Yeah, so we've got flyers, so we could send those send those to schools, or send them to you to ping to schools. We also got banners as well, so we could send them on. That sounds a great idea, school news.
Yeah, we've also done a lot of promotional work in sort of community newsletters, so things like Sports Day, community like festivals like the Barton Bash, Flow Fest, that kind of stuff. So we've been on the ground quite a lot to reach as many people as possible.
Mm.
That's great. You've got a link, I guess, for both Jodie and Ben and Gertie there.
Yeah, Donna, that'd be great. Yeah, I know we have had a brief email, haven't we, before, I think. So I'll send you an email either tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get that sorted. And secondary schools would be perfect as well. Awesome.
there any more questions for either Glow Energy or UMove today? No, Jodie, I don't think anything else is coming up, but I guess people can contact you here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, on this screen you can see our contact details for both Glow Energy and UMove, and this will be sent around to you. And thank you for coming, and hope it was informative, and you can share on with any relevant people you think would benefit from hearing about this.